Mr. Clary. Good morning, children. Today I'm going to be telling you a story, and the story is called God Has a Plan for You. All right? So, once upon a time, a ship was caught in a storm in the middle of the ocean. The ship got destroyed, and all of the passengers in it drowned in the sea, except for one man. By the grace of God, he had survived and somehow washed up on the shore of the sea. After some time, when he regained consciousness and his eyes opened, he found himself on a desolate, quiet island. As soon as he woke up, he started praying to God and said, "Oh God, please help me. Please send me some help." Days passed, but no help came. He spent his night sleeping on the beach. The next day, when he woke up again, he prayed to God, but again, no help came. A few days passed by like this, but by now he had totally given up. Taking life of desolate island as his fate, the man started to collect some wood and grass and made him a little hut for himself. He collected things from the broken ship and kept them in the hut. He started surviving by eating coconuts and fish on the island. Staying in the hut is how he spent his days. So one night, he lit a fire and went in search of food. And on his return back to the hut, he saw that the hut was on fire. You can imagine he was very sad due to the destruction of his only shelter. So in anger and frustration, he raised his head towards the sky and started yelling and complaining and said, "Oh God, I told you to send me some help, but you didn't listen to my prayers. I had to build a hut here to live, and you burnt that too. How can you be so cruel to me?" He was very disappointed, and he kept complaining to God till night. And then he fell asleep on the beach. In the morning, he was woken up by a noise, which was very loud. So when he opened his eyes, he saw that a ship had come to shore. He couldn't believe his eyes. He was overcome with happiness and joy that at last help had come to him. He got on the ship, and the ship started sailing. After getting on the ship, the man asked the captain, "How did you know that I was stranded on the deserted island?" The captain replied, "We saw your fire signal coming from the island. We then understood there must be someone on that island, and that's how we came here." The man said, "But I didn't send any fire signal." The captain then said, "Well, had it not been for the signal, we wouldn't have come." Just then, the man remembered his burning hut. He understood that the fire signal which the captain was talking about was his burning hut. He now knew that it was God's plan to get him off that deserted island. By putting his hut on fire, he then knew that God's plan was bigger than his plan for himself, and he started thanking God. So you see here, kids, the thing here to understand is that in our lives, we will find we do a lot of planning on our own. But what we want does not happen, and what happens is not our choice. We always try to understand the happenings of life in our own lives with our limited minds. When troubles befall us and our faith starts to waver, our patience starts to break, our hope starts to fade, and we start complaining to God, while in such times one should try to get out of trouble by maintaining God, faith in God. So check this out. In a world of 7 billion people, God has a purpose and a plan for every single one of us. We should keep doing our best efforts by keeping faith in the Most High without losing heart. And our efforts and God's blessings together can get us out of every trouble. Therefore, whenever in your life you feel like your plan is failing and everything is happening against your wishes, always remember that perhaps God has something more, a plan for you, because his plan is always bigger, it's always bolder, and better than your plan that you have for yourself. Thank you, children.